Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you back on Business Today. The last half an hour wheel of Tuesday's weekly expiry now panning out on the Nifty. The bulls are defending 26,000 with great vigor and strength. The Nifty is down 164 points. Nifty Bank down 400, and of course the IT index slipping 50 points lower. Both these indices, the Nifty IT index and the banking index, were in the green early morning. So profit booking at that end as well. And in the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, we saw a high of 26,320 on the first 1 minute of Monday, post the GDP numbers on Friday, and after that from 320 all the way down to 26,000, it's a profit booking zone that has come in. Overall, the market is in the profit booking mode. Just 760 stocks are in the green versus 1900 that are in the red. Just one index in the green, and that too marginally. All 19 of them are now in the green, in the red, led by a drop in the Nifty Bank, 0.65% lower. Amongst top traded counters, there is a block deal that's happened on Bajaj Housing Finance. The parent Bajaj Finance selling 2 percentage point equity. The stock at a new 52-week low, a new record low actually, 96.7, down 7.5%. There is Wockhardt Pharma, 1.3% higher, 2,200 crores traded. 1 percentage point cut in HDFC Bank, Reliance and ICICI Bank. That's the reason for the sell-off on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty as well. And you have Bharti Airtel, Sun Pharma, you have Bharti Airtel, State Bank of India and Natco Pharma bringing up the top 10 traded counters on the National Stock Exchange. Let's discuss this a lot more and take an opinion from Mr. Abhishek Basu Malik. He joins us from Mumbai. Namaste Abhishek ji. How are you seeing this mild bout of profit booking that has come in from 26,320 levels? Is this par for the course, or is this something to be worried about?
So first of all, good afternoon, Shell. Really good to be on your show. I think last week when I was on the show, I was saying that it's normal once you get to the all-time highs, right? There is a normal tendency for people who feel that, people who've seen the last 1 year, seen the struggle to get to do some profit booking. So I would say that this is par for the course. This might go on for another, couple of days, or maybe a few more days before we, get into the new highs decisively.
Okay, fair point. How do you see the GDP number? There has been some talk in the market that the inflation deflator seems to be not working the way it's supposed to be. An 8.2 number, highest in 6 quarters, and here we are wondering why there is a profit booking on the Nifty.
See, I think, one thing that we have to, look at is that, the 8% growth that we saw, none of the constituents of the GDP numbers actually showed 8% growth, right? So that is one thing that we have to keep in mind. So a lot of it is happening because of the deflator. Now the fact is that once you see a change in the base year that is going to probably come up next year, the numbers are going to get restated. So probably the GDP numbers will actually start looking better from what it is today. So the point is that instead of looking at the GDP numbers, as investors we have access to management commentary, we have access to quarterly numbers, and that is, I think, what we should look at from a more empirical bottoms up view.
Okay, wonderful. That's the view forward. But at this point of time, against the backdrop of this strong GDP show, what are the stocks that come to your mind in terms of investments?
So, instead of stocks, let me go, look at the industries one by one. So, for example, if I look at the quarters that has gone by, where has the median EPS growth in numbers come through? So Nifty Metals has actually shown very good results. And median, I think, around 40%. Realty has shown very good growth in EPS, more than 30%. Chemicals has shown very good growth. Healthcare, pharma, again, very good growth. Interestingly, the sector which has been doing the best now, which is banking, has had very mixed, kind of numbers, because the good results of some of the banks have been completely offset by a few others. So, for example, let's say, when I was looking at the Nifty Bank Index, uh, banks like Canara Bank, IDFC First have come out with very good numbers, and that has been completely negated by, say an IndusInd Bank or a Axis Bank, where the EPS growth has been very very poor. So it has been a mixed bag. So if I have to look at overall, sector by sector, I think still, metals, realty, chemicals, healthcare, pharma, manufacturing, defense, and banking is where the interest is. Out of all of these, I think defense is the one which holds the most promise for at least the near to medium term.
Okay. Please allow me to just mark the market for a while. Let's just see where you have a very strong show in terms of volume and in terms of price as well on the long side. Wockhardt Pharma, 1.7% higher, almost 1498 for you. Bharti Airtel, 0.5% higher. Strength coming into Natco Pharma. This is something that I'd like to mark. 3.4% higher. About 765 crores has been traded in terms of value, and lots of moves coming into Gujarat State Petronet. 5% higher. 48 times the 5-day average has been traded, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at this stock at 304. Paint companies are doing very well. Axo India, 35.23, 7% higher. There's a green tick on Asian Paint as well. About 15-20 days ago, there was a very seasoned brokerage that had given a buy recommendation on paint companies. So they are doing pretty well. And of course, you have Birla Soft from the low ticket high beta item doing pretty well, and Union Bank of India too. Let's get back to Mr. Malik. Abhishek, a view on PSU banking stocks. Today, Bank of Baroda hit a record high.
So I think, very positive on PSU banks in the overall scheme of things, where there's a possibility of rate reduction. Credit growth has been, slowly picking up. Most of the, banking sector is actually doing well, and PSU banks within that has probably the best valuation metrics. So if you look at the large cap banks, and even some of the, the larger mid caps, whether it is a Maharashtra Bank or a Canara Bank or a Union Bank, Indian Bank, these are the tier, sort of tier 2, and you have Bank of Baroda, SBI and PNB. All of them actually, are looking very interesting. All of them have, have been coming up with very, very good numbers.
Okay, fair point. Abhishek, you mentioned 4 or 5 sectors where you have a keen eye on the long side. Is there something that you want to avoid at this level?
Right now, I think overall the market is actually very very uncertain. So you have to be very very picky. I think we are now getting back into that 2018 2020 kind of a setup, where market. We are not going to see an unidirectional up move. So one has to be very picky. Like I said, within banking, you have very divergent kind of results, right? So it's not enough just picking the right sector. You have to be able to pick the right stock within the right sector. But even within that, I think if I look at sectors where I have to be slightly careful, I think sectors which have actually actually outperformed in the recent past, like auto ancillaries, they may be very good for the medium to long term, but short term I think they might take a breather.
Okay, fair point. No issues at all. Of course, market is a cyclical beast. You see sectors go up and sectors come down. This is the money flow that works dramatically. One thing that I'm noticing, Abhishek, is the extreme strength in auto stocks, auto ancillaries, and select pharma counters based on the GST cuts, particularly in auto. Are you enthusiastic after the November sales came in yesterday, in particular Hero Motors, in particular Maruti? How do they look?
I mean, numbers have been really, really good. We have investments in a number of auto and auto ancillary, stocks, and most of the numbers that have come have actually been excellent. And the only thing, I mean, just what I was saying is that a lot of the stocks have been running up a lot. So that's something that we have to be slightly careful about. I'm not saying that we need to sell and go away, but you have to be careful when in this kind of a market which is very choppy, you get to see strong one-sided moves, because typically what is happening is the moment you see a reasonable up move, 10, 15, 20%, you are seeing incremental sellers coming and then pushing the stocks down. But purely from November dispatch numbers, nearly all the counters that I track have come up with very, very good numbers.
Okay,
And
okay.
this is across board, whether it's two wheelers, four wheelers, three wheelers, everything.
Okay. What's an interesting thought in terms of three-wheelers? Uh, would you, by any chance, be tracking a three-wheeler stock?
Not specifically three wheelers, but if you look at, say, whether it's a Force Motor which has a three wheeler, whether it's Bajaj which has a three wheeler, most of these TVS which has three wheelers. If you look at their, individual breakups, they've been doing really well.
Absolutely, I agree. First Motors, what you see is down 300 rupees, but this is a 17-16 bagger over the last 3 months or so. My apologies, over the last 3 years or so. Phenomenal amount of money has been made in Force Motors, something that keeps our tourism industry up and running. Yeah, this is a 5-year move. 13 times the return, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of money some people have made in the market. Okay, 313. Yeah,
Quick,
yeah,
quick
Abhishek.
disclosure: this is a stock that we've been holding for a while, and we continue to hold. In fact, their numbers for November was really good. I think 52% overall, including imports and exports, year on year. So excellent numbers coming in from Force.
Okay, wonderful. In fact, I think the sales numbers came in today for the month of November. They were pretty good as well. So that's that's the entire auto industry that's in a very heavy kind of an uptrend. What do you like in pharma, Abhishek?
See, I think pharma, you have to be very, very company specific. So I like a number of these CDMO players. We have positions, long-term positions in some, a couple of the largest CDMO, CS kind of players. I also, beginning to like some of the, API manufacturers. So basically, not formulations, but more of the, building blocks of CDMO API is where I, personally like. The other area which is very interesting is the domestic focused pharma. So not so much of exports, but companies which are focused on more of the domestic market is also something which is very interesting.
Okay, fair point. I think that's a wide variety of stocks that you've made. Abhishek, this time the Bank Nifty, I'll request the PCR to kindly show the year-to-date chart of Bank Nifty. 18% higher, fresh record high. We crossed 60,000 in trade yesterday, and that was a winning move. 17-18% uptick. Do you still believe there is rally to be held in the banking space?
I would think so. I mean, my sense is that this run for the banking NBFCs have just begun. So I was actually listening to the management commentary of some of the smaller NBFCs and MFIs, and most think that the second half of the year is going to be significantly better than the first half. Now, it's usually always the case that people think that the second half is going to be better than the first, but looking at some of the companies that we track, how their numbers are showing up, what is the cost of capital that they are getting. I think that and with a possible rate cut, right? I think that credit growth is likely to go up. Overall, the balance sheets are quite good. Most of the companies have repaired their balance sheet. So I personally think that the next year, maybe 2 years, should be good for the overall banking sector.
Okay, fair point. 317, please allow me to mark the market for a brief while. So 26,000 has been defended and defended pretty okay, ladies and gentlemen. We have 26,036 on the Nifty, still down 138, but it's way better off than what it was about 15 minutes ago. Let me just share with you the top gainers as far as the Nifty is concerned. You have strength that is visible within Nifty on the following stocks. Asian Paints, as I was pointing out, is the top gainer. Dr. Reddy's from the pharma space doing pretty well. So the market is completely defensive. You can see paint companies, you can see FMCG companies, pharma companies sort of on the front foot. You have Maruti, of course, no stopping it. 16,250 fresh record high on its way. Bharti Airtel, Hindustan Unilever, NTPC amongst the gainers. Out of 50 Nifty stocks, only 10 are in the green. So the advanced decline is in favor of the bears fairly strongly. Selling pressure in Indigo, the company faces a tax demand from Kerala, I think, 1.7% lower. JSW Steel, SBI, Cipla amongst those that are slipping a bit, as also Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. So that's the structure of the market at this point of time as far as the main index is concerned. I'll also mark what's happening in the FNO space. In terms of top gainers, ladies and gentlemen, we marked Asian. We look at Motherson Sumi, 2.5% higher. This is India's largest auto ancillary with businesses in more than 50 nations. 119.5. Angel One from the broking space doing pretty well, 2% higher. Glenmark, Naukri, Siemens, BPCL, Union Bank and Canara Bank are amongst many gainers on the FNO space. So that's the structure that we have in the market as of now. The last 10 minutes of trade left. In terms of all-time highs, it's Vedant from the metal space, Ashok Leyland, Hero Motors from the auto space, and banks are represented by Bank of Baroda, Federal Bank, AU Bank coming in. No stopping Muthoot Finance because of how gold prices are moving up. So that's the broader structure of the market as of 3:20 p.m. today. Abhishek, final thoughts for tomorrow. How do you see the market beyond the weekly expiry?
No, very difficult to guess on a day-to-day basis, but I would expect. I mean, we've already seen a couple of days where the market has corrected, and so hopefully, I think hoping for some green tomorrow.
Yes, I so agree with you. Hoping for some green tomorrow. 8.5%, and you see a gap down. You see a gap up filled is not one of those pleasant. You're laughing as well. I knew. I was hoping for a very strong gap up on Monday, maybe 150 points, then a trend day and a record high above 26,300. Kya bazaar ne class
It's
leave
a very
Monday ko.
strange market. I mean,
Yeah.
on a more serious note, I think it's a very strange market where we are seeing continuously selling coming in. The moment we get somewhere close to the highs. So I think there is a lot of people who are still very circumspect, which in a way is good because that is where uh, the starting of a bull market, there is a lot of people who are circumspect. So I'm sort of thinking that we are probably in the beginning phases of the next phase of the bull market. So hoping that I'm right.
Okay, perfect. Okay, 3:21, 9 odd minutes of trade left. Abhishek, a view on the rupee. I would be failing in my duty unless I take a view from you on where the rupee is headed.
So my personally, we don't track the rupee all that closely, but basically my expectation is that we will see the rupee somewhere close to 92 to 92.5, maybe within the next 6 months to a year. At least
Okay,
that's the
okay.
number I'm working with. Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to would you want to comment on IT stocks? The buyback at Infosys has been phenomenal, about 63% acceptance. TCS emphasis looking fairly decent on the charts. A view on IT?
So last, I think 2 weeks back when I was on the show, I was saying that we've seen probably the worst of IT, and what we are probably now seeing is one is some sort of catch-up trade and also some sort of defensive, allocation to IT because ultimately, no, doesn't matter what we say about AI and things like that. We still need implementation of these systems to happen. Basic softwares, business enterprise softwares to continue to be built. So Indian IT service is not going anywhere. What has happened is we've seen a long drawn sort of drawdown, sideways movement, and probably now we will see some kind of an up move going forward. And I would more bet on the mid cap IT companies, uh, you know, who have a little bit more of domain specific niche work rather than the Infosys, Wipro, HCL Tech, and those of the world. You probably focus a little bit more uh, on those players who are serving a specific domain or very very niche.
Okay, fair point. I think that's a situation that's been rewarded very well by the market. Look at how persistent. I'll request the PCR to kindly show us the 5-year chart of Persistent and Coforge. These have been the two leading lights in the mid-cap space for IT. That's a 4x return, a 4-time multi-bagger in 5 years. And what you also see is a one-for-one stock split. This is actually a stock worth 13,000 rupees on the chart. It's a 1:1 bonus effective in price. As also Coforge, very, very strong gains on both these stocks, 5 years, 2.3x. And if you see a longer period, maybe 10 years, you will probably see a 10x on Coforge. That's the kind of money that people have made. Oh, I'm so sorry, I was wrong. It's a 15x return with a lot of stock splits and bonuses as well. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. The last 5 minutes of trade are upon us. Abhishek, a couple of stocks where you've added to your positions over the last 5 odd months or so.
I've recently started picking a few of the shipping sector stocks. I think shipping is in a stage where we might see a good kind of focus in the sector. We're already seeing some of the companies talking about doing a lot of work for not only defense, navy, but also for the maritime sector. So across board, if you look at shipping, you have shipping vessels, you have ports, you have you have dredging companies. So across board, I think there is opportunity. There is a lot of focus from the government on developing the maritime shipping in India. So that's a sector I think which is going to emerge over the next 2 to 3 years. So we started looking at that very closely. Started picking up just initial stages in some of the companies in this sector.
Okay. At the early part of your conversation, you obliquely mentioned defense stocks. Russian President Vladimir Putin is going to be in Delhi, I think, tomorrow, and a lot of deals are expected to be signed, including that of the very successful missile S-400. According to you, what are the 2 or 3 major defense stocks which you feel merit attention at this point of time?
So I think again, if you look at the defense sector, I think you have to. The only thing that you can think is that it's a sector that will do well. If you look at what is happening not only in India but across the world, especially in Europe, uh, I think 27 countries in Europe have said that they will increase their defense allocations significantly. Out of which we've already seen UK do it, you've seen France do it, and we've seen Germany do it. And these are not small players, right? These are very, very large, countries with large defense budgets. So once that picks up, obviously there is going to be good opportunity for some of our players to if they may not be direct suppliers, but they may be part of the supply chain. Uh, if you look at the Indian players, the HAL, BEL, these are the obvious ones. The shipbuilding companies again are obvious ones. There are a number of smaller players who have been doing well. We have positions in a few of them, so I'll not would not like to take names, but again, this is a sector which I think is going to do really well for the next maybe even 5 years. Who knows?
Absolutely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now let's try and wrap the market. 2 minutes left to 3:30. Abhishek, thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
And again, it was so good meeting you in Mumbai earlier in November. Let's hope we catch up more often. And
Sure.
here's wishing you all the best. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to start wrapping up. So it's bad, but it could have been worse. You could have seen 26,000 go away on the weekly expiry of the Nifty. It didn't. And there is short covering which has pulled the Nifty up from exactly 26,000, which it hit at 2:58 p.m. and we are trying to close around 26:30, 35 because the last half an hour is a weighted average of all the trades that are done. Nevertheless, 26,000 has been defended by the bulls on weekly expiry. Now I'll request the PCI to show a 5-day chart. What you will see is that on Monday there was a gap up and you saw the index hit a record high 26,320. From then on we've had a mild selling pressure ahead of the weekly expiry, and now that it's passed, let's hope for better days in the market. 350 points down on the Nifty Bank, 59,331. IT index is back in the green, which is a very, very big plus. Banks have done a fabulous job. I'll request the PCI to kindly fire Bank of Baroda, fresh record high. The PSU banking sector has been the cornerstone of great support to the bank Nifty. 303.95 is the high that we saw today. This is a record price on Bank of Baroda. We can also show Canara Bank, PNB and State Bank of India in the same breath, not record highs but strong gains coming in. The paints sector is doing very, very well. Asian Paints, the top gainer in FNO, as also Axo Nobel. a major block deal happening on Bajaj Housing Finance. Remember, this was, what an IPO that was. Record low on Bajaj Housing Finance, 2% stake sold by parent Bajaj Finance to raise monies. And this is also the top traded counter on the National Stock Exchange. All's well that ends well, ladies and gentlemen. 26,000 has been defended. Let's hope for better days from tomorrow onwards. Thank you for watching.
ईश्वर दिसंबर